Once upon a time, there was a kingdom ruled by a kind and smart king who had only one eye and one leg. The people of his kingdom were living happier and healthier life because of him. One day, the king was walking through the palace hallway and he saw the portraits of his ancestors. He thought that his children would one day walk the same hallway and remember their ancestors through these portraits. The king also wanted a portrait of himself to be displayed in his palace, but he was hesitant to commission one due to his physical disabilities. He was uncertain about how his portrait would look like, so he invited many famous painters from his own and other kingdoms to his court and announced that he wants a beautiful portrait of himself to be hung in his palace. Any painter who can carry out this should come forward. He will be rewarded based on how the painting turns up. All of the painters started to think that King's physical disabilities would make it difficult to create a beautiful painting of him, and they were afraid that if the painting did not look good, the king might get angry and punish them. So one by one, they made excuses and politely refused to paint the king's portrait. Suddenly, a painter bravely spoke up and promised to create a stunning portrait that the king would love. The king was very delighted to hear that. With the king's permission, the painter began to sketch and color the portrait. It took him a long time, but eventually he declared that it was finished. The people in the court, including the painters, were curious and nervous, thinking, how can the painter make the king's portrait beautiful when the king is physically disabled? What if the king does not like it and gets angry? But when the painter showed the portrait, everyone in the court, including the king, was completely shocked. The painter made a portrait of the king sitting on a horse on the one leg side, holding a bow, while aiming an arrow with one eye closed. The king was overjoyed to see that the painter has made his beautiful portrait by cleverly hiding his disabilities. The king gave the painter a great reward for his work. Moral of the story: we should always have a positive outlook towards others and not let their weakness define them. Instead of focusing on their flaws, we should look at their strengths and appreciate them. If you think and approach positively, even in a negative situation, we can effectively solve our problems.